So in this episode, we're going to look at 8 games that I'm gunning for that we're going to add to my collection. What's going on, everybody? I'm Screech. This is Retro Cart Collector, and I kind of thought it would be fun to look at some games that are on my hit list. Ones that I've got kind of top level that I'm looking for. We'll talk about why I'm looking for them. I was kind of excited to do this video. I wasn't really sure how I was going to present it. And then the more I got doing it and looking at it, the more excited I got to actually film this, because there's games in this list that I'm really excited to play that I've never got to try before. There's also games that I used to play and haven't played in a long time. And some of these games are in like that $500 Canadian mark. So number 8 on my hit list, game that I'm looking for. This one would finish one of the sets on the NES, and it's going to be Contra Force. Now, I know Contra Force isn't like actually a Contra game. I think it's kind of even been pushed out of canon. And I know it wasn't originally a Contra game. It was just one that they had, and they were like, you know what? We'll slap the name Contra on this, and we'll sell a bunch of games. And it wasn't really well loved by a lot of people. Now, this one I'm really interested in playing because it kind of sounds like I can swap between different characters. There's other characters. I'm not fighting aliens in this one like the other Contra games, but there's another one on this list that we're gonna kind of swing back that direction. So I'm not really worried about that. I want to get this one so I can kind of finish that NES set, because I've got Contra, I've got Super C, and I really feel like adding Contra Force to the collection will close that chapter and let me move on a little further deeper into that Contra series, and well, maybe check out some other ones. Number 7 is one that I used to have. I emulated it when I was younger. Now, it's going to be Wacky Racers on the NES, and it's based off like a 60s cartoon. Why they would have thought that we'd watch that cartoon, I mean, a lot of us probably saw it. I know it was on like Cartoon Network and stuff like that. Now, I had a VHS as a kid, and it had Muttley and Dick Dastardly in it. It was it wasn't Wacky Racers series. It was for another cartoon series, and it was called Dastardly and Muttley and Their Flying Machines. And it was all about them trying to stop this pigeon that was trying to like deliver mail. And there was a bunch of different pilots, and they were always had like these fancy flying machines, and they're always trying to catch this pigeon.
We'll be ready and waiting for Yankee Doodle Pigeon this time, Muttley. And when we catch him, it's medals for everybody. Huh?
And we used to watch that all the time. I only had like 4 or 5 channels growing up. So I didn't have cable or anything like that. I didn't have Cartoon Network. And 2 of the channels were the same. So I was watching a lot of these VHSs we had back then. And I watched that Dastardly and Muttley and Their Flying Machines cartoon over and over and over again. So when I heard there was a Nintendo game with them when I was in like my early teen years, I had to track it down. At that point, I had an old IBM computer, and I'd found a ROM for it that let me play it. So I did play it as a kid, but I never got to own the cartridge. And this is one that I'm really excited to find. Now, putting these games on this list for me kind of means if I find it and it's a good price, it's a good value for me to buy it, I have to pick it up. It doesn't matter if there's 30 other good games that I need. I want to buy these ones if I can find them. And I do know one of the stores locally does have it. It's got a damaged label on it, and they want way more than it's worth. So it doesn't meet that criteria where it needs to be of value to me to buy it. So I'm going to have to keep hunting for this one. Now, fun thing here is I actually have a couple conventions I'm going to be going to. In June, we're going to be going to SoCal Gaming Expo, and this list is going to be kind of key for me there. That's why I want to present it, is because these are going to be the games that I'm really gunning for at SoCal. Now, if I find it before then, I will definitely pick them up. But after SoCal, I'm actually going to go to Siege in July. So Southeast Game Exchange. And that, I hear, is a phenomenal expo to get games at. So hopefully I can continue with this list and maybe cross some more off. And I really hope Wacky Racers is one I can find, because I really, really, really want to play that again. I know it's not the greatest game. I know it's an expensive game, but it's one that I want to have in my collection so bad, because I have all those memories of the cartoon that I used to watch and playing that game on a ROM back in the day. Wacky Racers is absolutely totally 100% one that I'm hunting for. Now, number 6 on the list of games I'm gunning for is going to be Cowboy Kid on the NES. Now, I've never played this one, but in all my research, this sounds like a super fun 2-player game. And I want that. I want to get that one. I love cowboy games. I love all that stuff. I mean, obviously, I have Sunset Riders in the background here on the arcade. I love cowboy games. I love everything about that. So Cowboy Kid apparently is a really fun game on the NES. It's another pricey one, but this one, 100%. If I can find Cowboy Kid, I am all over it. Number 5 on this hit list, most wanted list, is gonna be Shadow of the Ninja. Now, this one looks super cool, and you can play 2 players. It's basically Ninja Gaiden, but 2-player version of it. I'm 100% down for that. And then maybe, just maybe, I can coax my buddies over and we can have a really fun game night, play some of these 2-player games if I can find them. And Shadow of Ninja is kind of going to bring the price point down a little bit, thankfully. It's still like up towards $100 Canadian, but if I can find Shadow of the Ninja, I'm really excited to play that one again. Another really fun looking 2-player game that I don't have a lot of experience with, but absolutely want that in my collection. Number 4 on the hit list is going to be Shatterhand. Now, if you've watched some of my other videos, I know that I've seen Shatterhand in another store, and I'm going to go there this weekend and see if I can find it. I really hope it's still there because I really want to put this one in my collection. And it's going to sit like close to that $100 range Canadian, but man, if I could pick this up, I'd be so excited to get this one in my collection. I've heard it's a good game. Everyone says it's a good game. I just need to play it. I need to know more about it. I'm so excited. It's like Vice Project Doom. When I found Vice Project Doom, I was like, I am so buying that. I've heard all these good things about it. I need that. I want that game in my collection, which is why I'm putting Shatterhand on the hit list. Number 3 on the most wanted list, we're going to move into some Super Nintendo games here. This is kind of the first real hunt for Super Nintendo games that I'm going to throw at myself, and it's going to be Contra 3: The Alien Wars. Now, this isn't a crazy priced game, but if I can get Contra Force on the Nintendo, and then I can add to that collection and get Contra 3, The Alien Wars, that kind of pushes that collection a little bit further, gets that set more filled out in those Nintendo, Super Nintendo type of games. That would be so exciting. I really hope I can find it for a good price and add it to the collection. Maybe, just maybe, I'll find it on the weekend when I'm hunting here. And I've heard really good things about it. I've heard it's a really phenomenal game, and it's kind of the one that just shouldn't have even done the Contra Force thing. They should have just made this one it, and it kind of was it, but I'm really excited to get this. I really want to add it to my collection, really finish that set. Number 2 is another Super Nintendo game, and it's going to be Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Now, this one, you hear all sorts of good things about. Apparently, it's kind of hard, but you can play 2 players. There's like 52 levels or something in it. Oh, I need that. I want to play that so bad. I never got to play these as a kid. This one I never got to try. There is a sequel to it called Ghoul Patrol, and it's not quite as good. Another one of those ones where it wasn't really supposed to be that, but they're like, you know what? We'll throw a name on it and it'll sell a bunch. So they might have made it a sequel, but Zombies Ate My Neighbors is supposed to be a lot of fun, and I really want that. I need that one. I know I've seen it in box. I don't think I'm going to go in box on this one, because I don't really want to have a bunch of in-box games. It's not really what I'm looking for. I like the cartridges. The boxes are beautiful. The manuals are amazing. But I'll leave those boxes for someone that really wants that stuff. I don't need to hunt that down if I don't need it personally. So I'm excited. And again, not a super hugely priced game, but I really want to play it. I need to experience Zombies Ate My Neighbors. So if there's a game that you think I should really throw on my most wanted list, one that I'm gunning for, let me know in the comments and tell me why. If you think, yeah, no, you need to play this, put it above all the other ones. I want to add it to this list. Let me know what you think I should get, and if it's a good one, you have a good reason behind it, 100%, we'll throw it on this list. So the number 1 game on my hit list, this is going to be another Super Nintendo game, and it's going to be Earthbound. I have to play Earthbound. I know Rabbit likes Earthbound, and I want to get it so I can maybe play it with him a little bit, because I really like to experience Earthbound. It's that RPG. It's kind of, apparently it's set like a really cool spot. It looks so cool, and everyone has such high regard for Earthbound. And I don't have it in my collection. I know it's a pricey game, but you know what? I'm putting it above all the other ones. If I can find Earthbound loose for a good price out in the wild, 100% I am buying that. Now, none of these ones on this list, I'm staying away from eBay completely. None of that stuff. I'm not whatnotting it. None of that stuff. No goodies for these ones. I want to find these in the wild. Make it a real hunt. Make it something I can really track down. And if you want to see those hunts, let me know. If you think that would be really interesting, me crossing them off this bounty list, as it were, the most wanted games that I have. If you want to see those videos, let me know, and I'll really try to film them. I'll try to make them fun. I don't know how, because I'll never really know when I'm going to track them down, and if I don't find them, I'll just have a bunch of film. I guess it could be fun either way. So that's going to be 8 games that are on my hit list, 8 games I'm gunning for.